In this video, we're having a look at the EZgo portable EV charger from MSI. Hi, I'm Lee. Welcome to the channel. I hope you're having a lovely day. And yes, MSI. Yes, that MSI, the company that I would normally associate with computer bits and bobs, makes portable EV chargers as well. Now, they have been making these and selling them in Taiwan for quite a few years now, but now they are releasing them globally. So lots of cool little features about this, and we'll get into all of that. To begin with, let's talk about price. So $549. I've seen a little bit cheaper, but on average, looking online, it is $549. That's sort of in the mid-range, I would say, in terms of prices for portable EV chargers. But once you see all the features and functions, I think you'll see that that's quite good value. So let's go ahead and open the sucker up and see what's inside. Now, they have talked a lot about the safety function. I'll put little things down here at the bottom of the screen or somewhere on the screen. It's one of the few portable chargers that's rated for these two different levels of safety in terms of, you know, if there's an overcurrent, if there's an undercurrent, it'll switch itself off, it'll block it, it'll loads of different safety functions built in. So it is very, very secure and very, very safe. In the box, well, in the carry case, comes a holder. So this is, there's screws in there somewhere. You can actually mount this on the wall. So the idea is you mount this on the wall. So that is for your cables. So that's going to hold your cables. So you can just sort of rest your cables there so they're nice and out of the way. But then there's also this sort of caddy, which can screw into the wall as well. And then the charger sits in there on the wall. I'll show you a bit of that a bit later. Here is the actual charger. Oh, hello. So here is the actual charger, and one of the things I really like about this is that it's got a screen. I really like that it's got a screen, and it gives you interface, it gives you sort of information on the interface, which again we'll cover and we'll show you what that does. Another nice feature is that the cable that you plug in is changeable. So the main cable, which this is the cable that you plug into the car. So this one that you plug into the car, you can remove. The cables that you attach, and you have two different plugs that you can use, which is a 10 amp and a 15 amp. And I like that they have so many cables, but it's very easy to tell. I don't know if you can see that I actually have a label on here that shows that is 10 amp. And then it shows this is 15 amp. Now, if you're not familiar with the difference between 15 amp and 10 amp, obviously one pushes out more power, one pushes out less power. Generally, I found 15 amps is if you're going to a campsite, something like that, they often have a 15 amp cable, but some people may have 15 amp plugs in their homes. And this is one of the few portable chargers that is rated to charge your car at 10 or 15 amps, and it can adjust on the fly, which is nice. So let's go ahead and plug this sucker in and see how it actually works. Hi, I thought I'd jump in quickly and just do a little explainer about charging rates and things like that, because I realized my channel used to be all about electric cars. So everyone watching it kind of knew all the stuff, but it suddenly occurred to me that maybe not everyone was aware of how all these things work. So your slower chargers, your granny chargers, like this MSI one, they'll normally charge 10 amps will get you about 2.6, 2.8 kilowatts. At 15 watts, they'll get you about 3.3, sort of top out 3 kilowatts. Your sort of wall charger, so the dedicated wall charger that we have here, the Tesla one we have, it charges at 7 kilowatts. If you want to know more about charging, I'll put a link somewhere up here to a couple of videos that I did ages ago that cover the basics of how charging works. But it actually works really, really well. And you want this is the type of slow charger you want for home, because very rarely are you filling up an electric car. Generally, if you're just driving every day around the city, you're going to use maybe 20-25% at the most of your battery. So you get home and your battery's at like 75%, or if you're keeping it at 80, it's down to like 60 or 55. You don't have to fill the whole car up from 0 to 100 overnight. So you just plug your car into a slow charger like this MSI one and just let it trickle charge, which is better for the battery. Just let it trickle charge overnight. You wake up in the morning and you got a full tank. Full battery, but you know what I mean. And then when you go on longer drives and you're really draining the battery down to like 20% or even lower, that's when you're going to use the fast, ultra fast chargers to get a charge in like 15 to 20 minutes. So it's actually, when you're using one of these at home, this is the kind of slower charger that you want, because it's better for the battery health. And you come home, it takes you all of 30 seconds to plug the car in. You go inside, you get out in the morning and charge full, and your car's full. Now back to the rest of the video. I'll also point out that the way that it connects, before I plug it in, I thought I'd jump in and show you this as well. The way that it connects is pretty rock solid. So you can see here that the plug's pretty sort of solid. It shows you where Yep, so there's 2 pins down there at the bottom. So I just line that up with the 2 pins, and I lined it up correctly. Yes, I think I have. Yeah, there we go. And then so you line it up, get it in there, and then it also locks into position. So that is nice and solid and nice and locked. I like that lock. That is a solid locking mechanism. For those who want, and I'll do this for you, feel free to enjoy it with me. So normally I wouldn't use an extension cable, but because I don't have a plug anywhere near here, and it's interesting how they've decided to go with the length of cables. So the actual plug that plugs into the wall is not terribly long. I suppose the idea is that you would have a plug on the outside of your house somewhere, or inside otherwise. But the cable that plugs into the car, that is where they have the great length of the cable. So that is where the cable is sort of longer. Let me just get that 15 amp plug out of the way. So let's go ahead and plug it in. So normally I wouldn't use an extension cord with one of these. It's ideal not to use an extension cord, but just for the purposes of this video, I will be using an extension cord. And this is a shielded extension cord with locking systems and all sorts of stuff like that. So popped it on. So there we go. As soon as you switch it on, you do have the display comes on, and you got this blue light sort of just breathing and having a think about things. But let's go ahead and plug it into the car and see how that changes and what features and functions we get. Oh, hello. When we plug it into the car. Something I'll mention there, just as it was about to drop, in terms of the rating in terms of durability, this is rated at IP66. So IP66 means that it can handle harsh plugs. Oh, that is a bit of a work. Interesting. So it's got 2 sort of things to hold it in there. So you don't want to squeeze, you actually just want to pull gently. Yeah, so by me squeezing, that's what made it a little bit more difficult. So, as I was saying, it's got IP66 rating for water and dust resistance. So in terms of water and dust, it can have harsh rain flying straight at it. It cannot be submerged in water, but it can have quite serious rain flying at it, so it's fine in terms of being outdoors. In terms of robustness, oh my goodness. So they actually rate this, that this can be driven over with the car. I will not be testing that, but yeah, it is very, very robust. I mean, you don't want to kick it around, but it's robust enough that it can be kicked around if it unfortunately ends up being kicked around. So we're plugged in and up and running, and hopefully the camera is able to pick up without too much reflection what is going on there on the screen. So you've got your amperage, you've got the temperature of the charger, and it shows you basic information of what's going on there. So that's nice. You've also got these 2 buttons that you can use to schedule charging, so you can schedule it to start or stop charging at particular times. You can also make other changes with these 2 buttons, but there's an app. And I think the app might be a little bit easier to do all those sorts of things than trying to do it with the buttons. I appreciate the fact that they do have the buttons there. And so if you do want to do it manually just with the buttons, you can, but I think the app might be a little bit easier to use. So you do need to set up an account. I've done that already. And it says add a charging pile now. So I'm going, yep, there's add. So it goes, yep, allow it to use the camera. Okay. Oh, and there's a QR code on here somewhere. So notifications, provide a background, like, yep, that's fine. And so there will be a QR code. Please scan the QR code. Oh, and the user manual. So let's go find, oh, hang on, let's see what we can do if we can add device manually. So if I tap on add device manually, it says allow, okay, yep. And oh, it's picked it up. So there we go, it's picked it up. And we tap on that. Please approach your device within 10 meters. I'm definitely within 10 meters of the device. There we go, it's picked it up. And let's give it a slightly catchier name other than EV blah blah blah. And we'll call this Lee's Granny. Stop it. Granny charger. So the reason why it's called a granny charger is because it charges slower than your Type 2 or your super fast chargers. But this is very much the type of charger that you might have at home. if you just want to plug in overnight and just sort of let the car trickle charge as it were. So yeah, and what's nice is I like that it's got these, I like that it's got this holder for it, so you can mount it on the wall so that you can have it as your home charger when you want to use it at home, or you can just easily take it out of the bracket and then take it with you when you want to take it with you. So there we go. It can see the charge there. I can see that at the moment it's pushing through 2.4 kilowatts, and if I tap on it, I can see a little bit more information. So let's see what more information we've got here as it's having a bit of a think and it's making the Bluetooth connection. I think it does just connect via Bluetooth. And so there we go. We can see that it has charged 0.20 kilowatts. It's charging power at 1.8 kilowatts charging. It's charging at 8.2 amps and it's been charging for 6 minutes, and the charging volt is 229.2, and it's just kind of doing its thing. And there's a little settings up there at the top. So there we go. So if you tap on the little 3 buttons at the top right hand corner, that takes you to where you can see your device settings, your schedule, your history, your analysis, firmware version. So if there's a firmware update, you can update the firmware. But let's go and have a look at how scheduling works. And here we go. So I can just tap on the little plus and I can add a schedule to start at a time. And you can set up different schedules for different days. That's pretty cool. You can see a history of your charging. I like that. There's probably not going to be much history because this is the first time that I've tried to charge with it. Let's see what analysis shows us. Here we go. So this shows us sort of energy used and all that kind of, again, it's not going to show anything because this is the first time that I've used it. But yeah, you can check the firmware version. Let's see if there's an update. No, it doesn't. Oh, yeah, no, there is an update. Now, I wonder if you try and I'm not going to try and update it whilst it's actually charging the car. It's probably fine, but to be on the safe side, I'm probably not going to do that. I will update it later. And that is some of the features and functions that you can see inside the MSI app for the MSI EZgo. So what are my overall thoughts about the EZgo from MSI? Well, I must say, I'm pretty darn impressed. I really like an interface. I like the fact that it's got a screen and it shows you what's going on so you don't have to guess. Whilst I certainly do appreciate that it's got the screen, and I think it's a really nice screen, it does have a quite narrow viewing angle, so you do have to be looking at it sort of straight on. Looking at it from the side, it's almost impossible to see what's on the screen, and I do think that it might be a bit of a challenge in bright daylight, but you can always just hold your hand over it and, you know, just put a bit of shade on it. You can see just fine. But something to be aware of. You can manually control the schedule and all that kind of stuff on here if you want to, but you've got the app. So, I mean, I think I'd probably use the app most of the time to make changes and set schedules and things like that. The robustness and the safety levels of this charger are, I think, probably the biggest selling points. The fact that it can just sit out there in the rain, no issues whatsoever, can handle dust, can handle being driven over. Try not to do that, but it can handle it if you were to do it. So it's really the robustness. I like the fact that they've got both cables are removable. So the fact that if something goes wrong with one of the cables, you don't have to replace the whole unit, you just replace the cable. It's little things like that that I really like the thoughtfulness that I think they've put into designing this EV charger. So yeah, so if you are in the market for a portable EV charger, I think the EZgo from MSI is definitely something worth looking at. I hope this video was helpful. I hope it was useful. If you have found it helpful or useful, please like and subscribe to the channel. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much for your support, and we'll catch you on the next one. Safe and happy charging. No, I don't know that for a fact. It comes in this nice bag, which is nice. Cradle like a baby. It's just the way the cables have worked out.